Brazil might rightly be called South America's superpower because of its economy, rich history, biodiversity, and huge basis of natural resources. Increasingly in recent years, Brazil has been making the headlines. So in order to get the word out about this up-and-coming country, we bring you the top 10 things you didn't know about Brazil. The Brazilian favelas are fascinating places and can be classified as urban slums. They are found throughout Brazil's urban centers and have attracted international attention for the things that take place in them. Crime, drugs, kidnapping, murder, and more are day-to-day occurrences within many favelas, and ordinary citizens are often afraid to enter them. Gang culture is rampant there, and in 2008, upon the realization that things were out of control in the favelas, the Brazilian government created the first pacifying police units in order to bring law and order to the chaos-ridden Brazilian slums. But wide-scale mistrust of the police coming from the slums' inhabitants has made their job difficult, in addition to direct conflicts with known gangs and drug traffickers. Brazil is a place of extremes, with the rich living in isolated communities and the poor, unfortunately, in the favelas. Brazil has the largest tropical rainforest area in the entire world, covering over 1.4 billion acres, and as one can imagine, it is host to a vast array of plants and animals, many of them unique and irreplaceable. Fully 10% of the total world species inhabit the Brazilian rainforest, and no fewer than 20% of all bird species make their home here. It is also home to more than 2.5 million different insect species and 40,000 plant species. What is perhaps even more important about the Amazonian rainforest is its potential to save lives. Of all the plants in the world that have anti-cancer properties, 70% of them have been found in the Amazon rainforest, and close to 90% of the rainforest plants have not been studied yet by scientists. Even more interesting is that with its mass of plants and trees, the Amazon rainforest produces 20% of the world's oxygen, earning it the occasional nickname, the lungs of the planet. Unfortunately, acres and acres of this precious natural resource are being chopped down, even as we speak. Brazilian cuisine is world famous, and rightly so, because it combines European, Native American, and African traditions, leading to a blend of rich and ethnically diverse foods that still remain uniquely Brazilian. In fact, Brazilian cuisine is so diverse, each region of Brazil has a different group of foods associated with it. In the north of Brazil, you find dishes such as pato no tucupi, or duck and tucupi sauce. From the southeast, you get feijoada, or bean stew with pork and beef, and moqueta, a dish composed of fish, coconut milk, tomatoes, onions, garlic, and more. In the center-west of the country, you can try galinhada, or rice chicken stew. Never mind the famous Brazilian barbecue most Americans are familiar with. Brazil's food is a symbol of its rich history and diversity and is irrefutably delicious. During the 1960s and 70s, the United States was terrified that communism might spread, and it dedicated itself to preventing this in a policy called containment. Untold amounts of money and resources were spent towards this goal, and Operation Condor was an extension of containment policies in South America. After the overthrow of the elected president, João Puquior Marques Goulart, in a coup d'etat in 1964 with U.S. backing, Operation Condor went into full effect, and sometime later, João Puquior Marques Goulart was assassinated in 1976. From the late 1960s to the 1980s, Brazil's government was a Washington puppet, and many shady dealings took place, from suppressing minority voices to active suppression of political parties to kidnappings, assassination, and worse. The truth is that Operation Condor is more a reflection of America's own dark history than it is Brazil's, save for the sad fact that that dark history was played out on Brazilian soil, where many Brazilians were forced to suffer. Carnival is internationally known and famous. It takes place across many different Brazilian cities, but it has several things in common: pageantry, samba dance, and flamboyancy. People dress up in costumes, often scantily clad, whether male or female, and dance and sing the day and night away, often in large parades. Different regions often have differing carnival varieties, much like Brazilian food, but each is its own flavor of Brazil. As is often the case in South America, Brazil is a country afflicted by massive income inequality. Whilst there is a middle class, it is vanishingly small when compared to people below the poverty line, and the wealthy and elite exist in their own world, often very far removed from the common man, poor or otherwise, living in gated communities with patrols and other expensive services to keep out those they deem the rabble. The huge gaps in income and wealth often make Brazil seem like a country within countries when viewed from outside. Regardless, it is possible as Brazil grows more prosperous, more and more people will achieve economic equality, but only time will tell. Also known as the PCC, Primeiro Comando da Capital, isn't just Brazil's most dangerous gang, it's one of the most dangerous gangs in the entire world. Based out of Sao Paulo, this gang is notorious in Brazil. They engage in drug trafficking, murder, kidnapping, and interestingly, control large segments of the Brazilian prison population from within. And the gang has expanded enough to have international ties to criminal organizations such as the Colombian FARC and others. They are most infamous for a series of events in 2006 when they brought the city of Sao Paulo to a standstill, simultaneously attacking multiple banks, buses, public buildings, and prisons for a period of 4 days. When it was all over, more than 150 people had lost their lives to the chaos. One of the strangest animals native to Brazil is the giant anteater. This bizarre creature resembles no other animal and looks like something cooked up from fantasy art. It has a long snout, long body, long sharp claws, and an incredibly long tongue. All in all, long is a good way to sum it up, measuring up to 7 feet long. No pun intended. Its tongue can be up to 2 feet long, which they use to ferret out ants, termites, and is covered with tiny pricks and spines to make the catching easier. Its massive razor-sharp claws help the animal to assault termite mounds and other hard-to-reach places when in search of delicious insects. Brazil is a diverse place, and nowhere is this truer than in the animals you can find there, and the magnificent giant anteater is one of the prime examples. Brazil actually has the largest Catholic population in the world, with more than 73% of the population being Catholic. The iconic statue of Jesus, called Christ the Redeemer, is a testament to this fact and can be found in Rio de Janeiro. Papal visits are important events for many Brazilians, and many old Christian values are still appreciated in Brazil, when in other parts of the world this has largely faded. Beyond the rainforest, Brazil is home to untold quantities of natural resources, including but not limited to bauxite, gold, iron ore, manganese, nickel, phosphates, platinum, tin, rare earth metals, uranium, petroleum, hydropower, and timber. In addition to metals, it's also a powerhouse in other areas such as coffee, sugar, soya beans, textiles, and electrical equipment, as well as ethanol, ore, iron, gemstones, steel, and oil. Speaking of oil, Brazil has made recent discoveries of oil resources, making it the 12th largest oil producer in the world, and its role as an oil exporter is only expected to grow. Add to this farming and agriculture, and it's no wonder why Brazil is the trailblazer of South America and is gaining international attention. For more top lists just like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to check out our other lists. And thanks for watching, and thanks for learning.